Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thanks very much for watching our earwax removal compilation video today. Now this is an inside out video, so you're going to see the shots not only from the inside the ear but also from the outside as well. There are 3 patients in this compilation video, so make sure you stay tuned to the very end. If you do enjoy it, please subscribe, follow, heart, like, do all those things. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. So this is the first patient out of 3. Now you can see this really thick, fudgy, sticky type earwax in the lateral portion of the ear canal, outermost portion. And you've got the standard size ulnar tube in here as well. So we're just working this plug out of the ear canal, just giving it a little bit of a wiggle, just to give it a bit of a helping hand. Now this patient has been experiencing quite a few problems with their hearing recently. They've also had a little bit of a cold, which is going to become important in about 30 or 40 seconds when we see the eardrum. So what we can see here is this much thicker, sticky plug that's come away really nicely. So in fairness, this patient's wax was migrating out really well. Don't forget, we've got that almost that conveyor belt system inside the ear canal, moving the skin from that medial portion. When it gets to the lateral portion, the outermost portion, that gets mixed with oil, dirt, debris. That's what forms wax. So it's all trying to get to the outermost portion of the ear canal, which is what's happening here. So we just got this little ring of dry skin. Now let's take a look at this eardrum. Can you see that yellow patch there just in that top corner? Now that's in the pars flaccida, the most topmost portion of the eardrum. That's actually a little bit of sterile fluid that's built up behind the eardrum following the cold. So when we get a head cold, the space behind the eardrum can sometimes fill with a little bit of fluid. So that space is known as your middle ear space. Basically that normally has air in it, which means the eardrum can vibrate in and out that space really easily. But when we get a bit of a head cold or we're congested, we can get some fluid in that space. Now the fluid is sterile, it's not infected at all. And when you get fluid in that space, it's something known as middle ear effusion. So if you've ever had a head cold, your hearing gets muzzy, your head feels really good, your voice is echoing around in your head, that's what you've suffered with. Couple of weeks, that's going to drain away. So that fluid is always trying to drain down through a little tube called your eustachian tube, which connects from the middle ear space to the back of the throat. So every time you yawn, swallow or chew, that little tube opens, allows air in and fluid out. It's also the tube you use when you equalize the pressure in your ears. So if you ever popped your ears, you're opening and shutting your eustachian tube. There you go, guys. A little bit interesting facts for you there. So this is the second ear canal here. Now we can see we've got this thick fudgy wax again, still sticking with the standard size Zollner tube in here. Let's have a look at this eardrum. Can you spot that middle ear effusion again? Yeah, there it is. So that in that pars flaccida region again, that top third of the eardrum. There we go, guys. It's just found in there. That's just stuck to the back of the eardrum. That will drain away over time now, so nothing to worry about. So we've got 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters worth of earwax plugs there, guys, from that particular patient. Stay tuned, there are another 2 patients coming up. Thank you to everybody who has followed us on TikTok. Massive news, guys, if you didn't already know. We've hit 1 million, you heard it right, 1 million followers on TikTok. That is a lot of people who've come to watch our videos over the last couple of months and last year. Thank you so much to everybody who's followed us on TikTok and to everybody who follows us on all our social media platforms, our YouTubers, our Facebookers, our Instagrammers. Thank you so much to everybody. We do appreciate every single one of you. So we've got this plug now in this one, very different. Look at the consistency of this wax. It's very thin and it's very liquid. Now, why would you think that would be? Now, there could be 2 different reasons. It could be that this patient naturally produces this much wetter type of wax because your wax production is down to your genetics. You're going to produce, some produce a lot, some produce little, some produce wet, some produce dry. Very much down to your genetic makeup. But what you can see here is the patients actually use quite an aggressive wax softener. So if you're in the US, I know you talk about Debrox. Over here in the UK, we'd have something like Otex, which is this very aggressive peroxide-based softener. And what that does, it softens everything it comes into contact with. So it's made this ear canal really mushy. This wax has gone everywhere. It's all over the side of the canal wall, but it only softens what it comes into contact with. So what we've got now is this hard core of wax that's sticking there, and unfortunately it's got lots of hairs embedded into it, so it really doesn't want to budge too well. So what I've done, I've brought this forwards to the lateralmost part of the ear canal, so right at the entrance to the ear canal, and I've gone in here with a Jobson horn. I'm just going over the top of this wax and scooping down and bringing this forwards just to try and break this thicker plug part and to pull some of these hairs out of it. You can really see those tiny little hairs in there. So we're just drawing this forwards. Unfortunately, what happens sometimes when we use the Jobson horn and we've scooped, it means that we push that little plug back in a little bit. So we're going to go back in now with the standard size Zollner tube. We're going to hold on to this plug, bring this forwards again. I'm aiming to wedge this right on the outer part of the ear canal so that we've got a better chance when we use the manual tools like the Jobson horn here to get over the top and scoop this forward. Now don't forget, when we use a manual tool in the ear canal, it is known as curettage. So basically just using a manual tool to do the extraction. You can really see those thick hairs all embedded into that wax there as well. So I'm just going back over now. We've got to this harder section. Look at the color difference there. You can see the difference in that wax plug, much darker, much thicker, stayed together as a solid plug. That is a big chunk of earwax there. But look what happens to the ear canal. And this is really common following a really aggressive wax softener like Debrox or Otex. What you can see here is it actually causes a little bit of irritation to the skin in the ear canal. Look at the eardrum. You can see the blood vessels running down that long process of the malleus to the hammer bone there, all looking very red. The skin of the eardrum, how should it normally look? Really shiny and pearlescent, but take a look at this skin on the eardrum here. See how it's mottled, it's dull, that's a reaction to the skin in here. Now all these sort of very thin discolored section you can see all the way around the outside edge there is a very, very thin layer of this broken down wax that's sitting on the surface of the ear canal. We can't get that out with suction. It would just be too uncomfortable because that's the medial portion of the ear canal, which is the osseous portion, the one that's surrounded by bone, really ultra sensitive. So if you could try and scrape a suction tube along there, my goodness me, your patient will be on the ceiling. So they will be really, really uncomfortable. Well, you're down to, sorry guys, I talked right over the measurement there. So I'm not too sure what that one was. Go back and fill in the gap yourself on that one. But you can see this last patient, the compilation. Oh, lovely gent this was. Came through with this really solid piece of wax. This is also standard size ulnar tube here. They've used a little bit of oil, but look at the difference from a peroxide drop to an oil drop. Look how this plug has stayed together really nicely. We've got a little bit of loose skin there underneath, so this is dead skin that's migrated out to this lateral portion of the ear canal, but we can really see that hard lump. See how it stays together far more effectively, which is why if you follow any of us who do microsuction on social media, we always talk about using olive oil as a softener rather than a more aggressive drop. If you were having your ears syringed, irrigated, I'd say go for the more aggressive drop. If you're having it suction, stick with olive oil, guys. It makes our life a lot easier and it's far more pleasant for you to have done. Lovely looking eardrum there on that one. This patient now, the second ear canal here, not really as blocked up on this one. This was more of an optional extraction, I would say, for this particular patient. Oh my goodness, I got to put my teeth in, guys. Optional removal. We're just lifting this off the base of the ear canal here. You can see that little bit of dry skin in there as well, and this plug coming away really nicely. Don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy the videos, then you can follow, you can subscribe, you can like, you can heart, you can do all those lovely things on social media for us. That would be absolutely fabulous. Just tidying up around the outside edge here. Very soft wax layer around the outside. There's a little tiny bit of dry skin here as well. I've switched it down to the fine end at this point just because we're taking little bits off. It's more effective for those little pieces, and we're using this sweeping motion around the outside part of the ear canal here just to take away some of those dry bits of skin and wax. There we go, you can see all coming away nicely. Let's have a little look at this eardrum in a second now and see what that looks like. There we go, you can see the difference in the eardrum as well. Look how smooth, shiny and pearlescent that is compared to the second patient's ear canal with that more aggressive drop. So 2 centimeters, 3/4 of an inch there, guys. Thank you so much for watching our video today, guys. We really do appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to everybody who does follow, subscribe, like, share. My goodness, you've made such a massive difference to the channel and we love you for it. So thank you so much for that. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears and take care of one another. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.